with the flow.
Can't forget about Coach Bergen. Of course. And if you don't got Coach Bergen, you ain't got shit.
What's up, Coach Bergen here, and welcome to the Coach Bergen Show, episode 55, 54, 56. I'm not really sure. We will find out later on. But for now, yeah, I just checked. Episode 55. And our guest today is Brady. He is a kickboxer. Join. Let's find out more. I'm going to take out my sweatshirt real quick. What's up, Brady? How you doing?
Hello, brother. How you doing?
Good, good. I'm going to take out my sweatshirt real quick. 1 second. All right. So, it's going to be a good day today. You have a fight coming up March 21st. Let's talk about that. Who are you fighting against and what promotion?
So I am fighting this guy named Jay Garcia. He's going to be fighting out of Genesis Training Academy, which in Colorado, it's one of the more legit gyms. Originally I was told he was 2-0. He's 4-1, and he's also from Florida. I'm from Florida, so it's gonna be a good old Floridian standoff. It's gonna be a good fight, and I'm fighting for 5280 Promotions, so it's an amateur promotion locally in the area. I've done a few Muay Thai fights for them. This one's gonna be a kickboxing fight, so I'm a little bit excited for that because no one can maul me in the clinch like they usually try to do, and I think it's gonna be a good one.
Okay, so you're kickboxing, not MMA.
Yeah, this one's gonna be kickboxing. I eventually want to work in MMA. That's my end goal, but I feel like my grappling just isn't good enough to translate yet.
Yeah, it's definitely important to have all aspects of it, at least a little bit. And then if not, being really, really good at one thing, so that way it can, negate the lack of, other aspects. But it's definitely easier said than done as well to do it that way.
Exactly.
All right, so what got you into training?
Honestly, probably just the area I lived in. Like, I feel like I always knew I wanted to do something fighting related. Even as a kid, my favorite subject in school was history because it involved war and war involved fighting, and then fighting translated into, actually fighting. But I grew up in South Florida, and the area I grew up in was pretty much like if you didn't know how to fight, or if you didn't know how to, if at least it didn't look like you knew how to fight, then you were pretty much a victim. So I started boxing and around 16 when I was sophomore in high school, maybe 15, and then did some grappling, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and I moved out to Colorado to actually pursue the fighting. And it's been working so far.
Okay, awesome. So, how many fights have you had so far?
I've had 5, I want to say, 4-1, and my last one was I've had 2 with this promotion and 3 other ones before that. So it's 5 total. If you count jiu-jitsu matches, I don't think they're fights. I think they're more of just like competitions, and I've had like 10, maybe.
I mean, it depends how you want to count it. Everybody probably has their own opinion, but by fights, I think like what MMA fights have you had? How many MMA fights have you had?
I've no MMA fights, so that's
Okay.
It's I'm looking to get into that around next year. I wanted to get my striking ironed out because I feel like I'm okay, but I want to be able to like really be dangerous there, and then that's when I can really focus on the grappling and the wrestling. I have a little bit of experience with it, but it's more of wanting to be really, really good in the area that I'm really bad at.
Okay. So it's still a work in progress before you pursue that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you've had 5 kickboxing fights then.
4 Muay Thai, and it is my first kickboxing fight. I'm very excited about that.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, to me, what makes, sense as to the difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing is obviously the elbows, but then you can clinch as well. So what else would you say is like a major difference between the two?
For me, at least, catching kicks. It kind of makes me a little gun shy when I throw kicks when I feel like he's going to catch every kick. And every guy you fight that is good at traditional Muay Thai
Hmm.
will catch your kick and then they sweep you. So it's like clinch,
Okay.
sweeps, catching kicks, elbows, and then in the clinch you could throw more knees. I mean, kickboxing you throw knees, but they're more of stepping knees compared to where you could just clinch knee and knee and knee. So it's I feel like this one I'm gonna be able to throw more kicks because he's not gonna catch him. He's just gonna have to block him or try to parry him or move out of the way.
I think I would be more concerned about my kick getting checked than getting caught. Because I feel like that would just be more painful.
Oh, it
And
sucks.
if they catch my leg, like I feel like I can get it back eventually, or I can just jump guard and work off of that. But obviously, you don't want either one being the scenario. You want the
Yeah.
kick to just land and be able to move away. But like, I don't know, which one do you think is worse of the two, or better of the two?
So versus catching and checking, I feel like, of course, getting your kick checked sucks. It's the worst out of everything. But I feel like that's gonna be at any level you throw kicks. I feel like only reason I worry about catching kicks is because they can initiate clinch, which is something I usually try to avoid a little bit
Okay.
because I'm not super great at it. But they can also sweep you, and that is humiliating. Like you're in a ring and you get thrown on the ground and he's just standing above you. You're like, okay, cool, awesome.
Mm, got it. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. So, let's talk about your first Muay Thai fight. What was that like for you?
It was it was surreal. I remember like it was in a cage, which was interesting because I honestly I like the cage a lot more than I like the ring personally.
Hmm.
But it was actually, fun fact, against the same gym that I'm going to be fighting this time, and
Oh,
I felt like I was a little gun shy. Like I was able to throw combos. I was able to throw like one, two, move around, one, two. But I ended up kind of just doing that whole time, working on my movement, and I felt like there's a couple times where he got in the clinch and started kneeing me, and I'm like, oh, this isn't like hurt as bad as I thought it would. Like he's starting to punch me like full force. I'm like, oh, this is just like just kind of punching me. I feel like I'm hard sparring right now. And I had a moment in the fight where I think it was round two, and we're kind of just looking at each other, getting ready to go back and fight. And part of me was a little scared because I'm like, oh man, this guy it's kind of hard. And he's a strong guy. He looks ready. And the other part of me was like, you literally have been asking for this for years. Like you are in the moment you've been asking to be in. So just live in it. And that's when I was able to really kind of let my game plan unfold and start to let my hands go a little bit. I feel like I didn't start letting anything go until like the end of round two, maybe the beginning of round three. Like round two and three is when I started like, okay, I can like actually fight now.
okay. So as you went through it more and more, you were feeling more confident in yourself.
Yes,
Okay, that's awesome. That's important, because without the confidence, we really aren't going to be as effective at all. Um,
exactly.
so, all right. So, comparing that to your most recent fight, what would, how would you compare yourself?
The most recent fight, I trained really really hard for it, and I had one objective in that fight, and it was to be meaner. Because in the last fight, I felt like I was technically sound, but I didn't come out as aggressive as I wanted to. I wanted to play the little tag game and land my hits, and not get hit. This fight, the one I just had, I I came out just looking to fight, and immediately off the bat, he was a very aggressive opponent. He was throwing ridiculous amount of combos and just kind of walking me down the entire time. But it got to a point like after the first round when he started to get a little bit more tired. I was like, oh, okay, all right. And it was more like just clashing, clashing, clashing the whole time instead of like me trying to escape and use my movement. I was like, no, it's gonna be a dog fight, and I'm
Mm,
gonna show you that I'm dog, and I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna hit you really hard, and you're gonna try to hit me really hard, and whoever wins wins. And I ended up getting a third round stoppage. His coach threw in the towel because it was a mess. I was covered in blood. It was a messy fight.
wow. Well, but, it sounds like you won that one very
Oh
well.
yeah, oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. So, is there anything you would have done differently?
Um, I would have probably used my kicks more. I would have. use my distance a little better with my teeps and such like that because I love my teeps. I only used it like 2 or 3 times. I threw it as he was coming in. It was usually like he caught me like halfway, so it was a weird distance management. And I would have tried to get hit a little less. I took
Mm.
a few shots that I probably shouldn't have. And I mean, in the first round, I threw an inside low kick and went to come down with a cross to just follow him. And he countered with the nastiest overhand right I have ever been hit by. And that was my biggest fear leading into the fight. It's like, man, he's probably have a mean overhand. And I got hit with it in like the first 15 seconds. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's his overhand. All right. So in moments like that, I wish I just kind of controlled the pace a little bit more and didn't let him dictate the pace as much in the first round because he was very pressure forward. I wish I was using a bit more movement and using a bit more ring control. Because there's moments where we were just standing against the ring like this and just like fighting. When I'm like, I could be in the center right now, taking control of the ring and having you against the ropes instead of us being side by side with the ropes. But
Mm.
it was, I don't know, it was like tunnel vision. I just wanted to hit him.
Yeah. No, of course, of course. It's easier to look back and be like, oh, I wish I did this, you know, as opposed to making that choice in the moment. Because in the moment, we're going to, like you're saying, the tunnel vision. So we're going to be kind of blinded to the other, you know,
Yeah,
opportunities we might have. And I mean, that's a big reason why they have corners. So, you know,
exactly.
that way you have people who can see the opportunities you're not seeing.
Yeah, I remember not fighting my corner after the first round because he had outpaced me a little bit. I had my friend Hayden, who's an MMA fighter. He's awesome, and my coach. So Hayden was like that inspirational. He's like, dude, you have to go out there and you have to do everything you said you were gonna do. Go out there and do it. And then my coach is behind me, like giving me technical advice.
Hmm.
So when I went there, I'm like, oh, all right. And I stood up and I realized like, oh, I'm in like decent shape right now. Like I don't feel tired at all. And after that moment in the corner, I feel like I kind of took over the fight. I was like, all right, I could use these weapons that they were telling me about and then actually go in and be a little bit more aggressive instead of letting him dictate the pace. And that's what really I feel like swung the fight my way, where I was able to like bust him up a little bit, knock his mouthpiece out a couple times, and just I'm like, oh, all right, it's starting to slow down, and I can start taking over.
Okay. So, do you feel like your conditioning was so much better that it allowed you to just like dominate?
Oh yeah, oh, and he had a very strong pace, but you know what they say, like if you miss punches, it almost like takes more energy than it does to land
Mm.
them. I feel
Yeah,
like I was making him miss a little bit while taking some punches, but I was also
because it's more a
I
mental
worked
thing,
so
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
then you're like, oh fuck, why am I even gonna bother? I can't even hit him. So you're not
exactly.
gonna waste the energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm a tall, lanky opponent, so I was just kind of trying to keep him out of my range. And then I finally really found my jab, and I felt like every time he'd come in, I'd hit him, and then he would miss. And I felt like I just watched his gas tank drop and drop. And this fight, I prepared so hard. My last fight, I gassed. In the third round, like there's so much I wanted to do. I was throwing combos, but they had no power to them. I was just kind of like touching his face. So I was like, no, I'm going to work very hard for this fight. I'm not gassing out. And eventually I noticed in the second round, I was like, oh, I'm like it's basically the first round, I'm just warmed up. And then the third round it's the same thing. I was like, oh, I'm still really good right now. And that was probably the highest pace I'd ever fought at. So it was fighting at a higher pace I've ever fought at and still being good. It was like, oh, okay, so this is what conditioning is. This is why I need to be
Mm.
conditioned.
Right. Yeah. It definitely gives you a huge advantage, like because when the other person's tired, it just makes it so much harder for them to like try anything, you know?
Exactly. It's like your brain wants to do it and you go to do it and your body's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Mm.
No, it's it's a silly thing. I've been on the other side of it too, so I know like what he was kind of feeling in that moment, where it's like, oh, everything I'm trying to do, I can't.
Right. Right, 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 right. Um, all right. So where do you see your career going? Do you like long term?
Long term, I mean, the goal is always going to be UFC or big fight promotion where I can actually just do this for a living. Like I don't want to serve tables and bartend my whole life,
Mm.
and it's just something to make money. But I feel like I want to go MMA. Of course, I just the whole art of fighting with everything is super intriguing to me, and I feel like once my style gets more ironed out and I get even more confident with my skills, that I feel like I'm gonna be an entertaining fighter. All of my fights, I feel like have been fairly entertaining, and that's I want to be able to bring a show but win my fights. I feel like you have people that are like really great fighters, but then they're not a huge draw because they're just not super entertaining. They don't have the personality for it or something like that, and they don't
Not as
make it
exciting.
to the big
Yeah.
leagues. Yeah,
Mm.
so it's
Yeah,
just doing it.
it's almost like in today's world, you need to make yourself a star outside of the sport in
Yes.
order to be a star within the sport. So,
Someone who's a great example of that is Sean O'Malley.
mm,
Like he's very skilled, and a lot of people try to say his grappling isn't great, but he's actually has pretty solid grappling. But he has made his brand outside of martial arts. And I remember when he was first coming up and he was making the videos of just him doing like weird little things with that like the punch dummy body and just like hitting it and then like making relatable stuff that people are like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. And he goes in with pink hair, fro, face tats, and I was like, who's this guy? And he starches somebody. You're like, oh, that's okay, cool. And now he's a huge name, one of the bigger names in the UFC, and he, like, you have somebody like Marab where they're most likely going to win that matchup every time, but Sean O'Malley will still get fights. He will still get paid to fight, and he was still a huge draw, even if he's not going to be a UFC champion. I
mm,
mean, he could come back and win, but it's like personality like that where you can just make a brand outside of fighting and fight and make way more money and be a huge draw because you have a personality.
right. Um, I would like to see him fight for the BMF title. I
Yeah,
think that would be the best one for him, especially because there's no like set weight class on it, you know? So, it's more flexible as to where it can get defended at what, weight and whatever. So I think he's definitely a guy that should fight for that. I don't remember. I didn't see Saturday when it was defended, but I'm pretty sure I bet on Max Holloway, and I think I lost.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I used Kalashi, and which is like a betting app for like everything.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, it didn't work out in my favor, unfortunately. I don't. I mean, the money's gone, but I don't know who won. Um, so maybe I bet incorrectly. I don't really know.
Oh man, I didn't get to watch it. I was at
Mm,
work, and as soon as work was over, I turned on my phone, went to Paramount Plus, and it was Oliveira was just doing Oliveira things, right? He was being the one of the best jiu-jitsu artists in the game. Although I'll give credit to Max all day, he defended every submission attempt and made it through the fight. But as soon as I clicked in, he was like neck deep in a rear naked choke and fighting the hands. I'm like, no, please, no, don't be this. How I watched this fight, and it was just that was a hard watch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big Max Holloway fan. I think that's actually my favorite fighter. That's someone who I try to resemble my style off of a lot.
okay.
So it was a rough one for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wanted him to win, but it's what it is. Um, yeah, I mean, I love how in the last fight that he fought for it, where him and Justin Gaethje, 10 seconds left, they just threw down in the middle of the ring and or middle of the cage, whatever you want to call it, and yeah, and then he knocks him out with 1 second left, and it was just absolutely unreal. Like, yeah, so.
Uh, that was such a
I
good fight.
I I would love to see Nate Diaz get to fight for it again because I feel like he was kind of robbed in the first one.
Mhm.
just because of like the referee stoppage, doctor stoppage, whatever it was, with his, I don't know, did he have a cut over his eye? And
Yeah,
but either way, that shouldn't be the way that the BMF title, you know, that the fight shouldn't lose that way if it's a BMF title. I don't know.
exactly.
But they have to also follow the same like rules they would for every fight because Nevada State Athletic Commission, blah 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 blah. And so it can't be like WWE in that way where you have different rules to finish the fight, and but at the same time, they should have redone it or something, called it a no contest.
Yeah,
Because Masvidal did not win the BMF title. Like, I don't believe he did, and on paper he did, and people would probably say he did if they were huge fans of his. I don't care one way or the other. I'm not like against him. I don't take anything away from him. He's done a lot in his career, but at the same time, I don't believe he truly won that title. And you know, it should have been a no contest, and then they just do another one, like the Max Holloway Justin Gaethje fight. That should have been the first BMF title fight.
yeah.
Because of the way that ended, that would have been like way cooler.
Oh yeah,
But
I totally agree. And like, it sucks because the argument will always be like, "Oh well, Masvidal gave him the cut," but like Nate
yeah,
Diaz splits open
right,
every fight,
right,
so
right. It just
it's
happened to be in the wrong place, and you
mhm.
know, but like getting cut shouldn't really end the fight unless it's like I don't know. I don't know. I think the fighter should end the fight really, and
Exactly.
by either by quitting or making the other fighter quit. You know, um, or knocking them out. And then that's where the referee would step in. But like a little cut over an eye is just kind of I don't know, kind of a bad way to win the baddest motherfucker title. But
And I understand like I like let him scrap a little bit, and if he starts losing a ton of blood, where it's like, okay, this might be a little dangerous, then yeah, stop it. But they
mm,
stopped it really early with that, and like Nate Diaz is someone who will fight. That he's one of if not one of the toughest guys in UFC, right? So he's gonna fight through a cut in his eye because he has cuts every single fight, and like if his eye was compromised, okay, that's something different. If you're gonna lose vision, I get it, but if I'm not mistaken, it was like right here on his eyebrow where he normally gets cut, and
yeah,
that's just it's just gonna bleed into his eye. Let him fight with one eye covered in blood. I mean, that's what a lot of the fans want to see. It's a brutal sport. There's gonna be
yeah.
blood. Might as well let him bleed.
And Michael Bisping actually won the title with one eye.
Yeah.
Um, and that's pretty badass in itself. And he might be like a trash talker and kind of like a dickhead sometimes, but he can definitely fight, and he can definitely, you know, he's definitely one of the top contenders for BMF. I would say, even
Oh
though he
yeah.
doesn't fight anymore, if they had it during the time he was in his prime, that would have been the guy that would have been challenging for it. Um,
Michael Bisping. Yeah, he was a beast, and like in that fight, if I'm not mistaken, he had like lie to his doctors to get to fight again because he couldn't see out of the eye and he'd like fake his eye test, which is also
yeah,
crazy. It just shows that like the dog in him where he's like out fight no matter what. I don't care about one eye.
he had to memorize the eye chart with
Yes.
the eye that could see, and then when they had it, closed each way, then he just like went off of memory because he couldn't see,
Mhm.
and that's crazy to me that he was able to cheat the test, but good for him. I mean, he found a workaround, and I mean, I wouldn't recommend most people do it, but like if you're an MMA fighter and you kind of need the clearance, like it's been done, doesn't mean it can't get done again.
Yep.
And but of course, fighting with one eye probably isn't, the smartest move either. So I don't know, unless you can really confidently believe you're going to win a title, then by all means go for it, and then you're just like going to live in history as, one of the best, champions at that point.
Oh yeah.
But the White House card is something else that I know is coming up, and I think that Nate and Connor are supposed to fight for the third time, but I don't know if that's true or not because I've also had people tell me that Connor's fighting somebody else, but it was a name I didn't recognize.
Yeah, I saw they announced. I feel like they announced some of the fights, and I saw on the night of the Max Holloway weigh-ins. I want to say is where they're doing the face-offs. One of the
Mhm.
fights dropped off, so I'm curious on who that was. But that White House card looks really good. Gaethje and Ilya for the title, which is awesome. I've had the pleasure to be around Gaethje, and when he was getting ready for the Patty camp, I got to see him train a little bit. I was like, ooh, this guy's really cool. And I think it was Sean O'Malley is gonna fight. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. But he's the guy who's fighting is on his hair too. I kind of, in my heart, kind of wish Corey was on that card. I kind of wish it
Mhm.
was Sean versus Corey. They make the fights. I don't, but
Right.
it's gonna be a great card. I think what Pereira's fighting Cyril Gallon as well. So that's gonna be a good
Okay.
one. And it's gonna be in the White House on the lawn.
Oh
So
yeah.
I wonder how I mean, obviously, it's not going to have a massive crowd, and everyone that's in the crowd is probably going to be, you
Getting
know,
security clearance and
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it being a huge crowd either. I think it's going to be like actually a huge loss for the UFC overall. But they're doing it in I guess the attempt in making it the like I don't know. I guess making it more awareness to it, and because it would be the first like sport on the White House lawn, I believe.
Hmm.
And then also like I don't know, but I think a big part of why he's doing it is probably as like a thank you to Donald Trump because the
Oh
UFC
yeah.
would not exist without him.
Oh
And
yeah.
like obviously it needed Dana to exist, but it needed Donald Trump to exist too, which a lot of people don't know because of the fact that like Dana couldn't get one of the events into any like any place to be able to host the event. And then Donald Trump had said, "You can host it here." And so, you know, it yeah, so he started hosting it at Trump's, whatever places, casinos,
Hmm.
whatever it was, and then they became friends off of that. And so I think that's a big thing of why he's doing it because it's on Trump's birthday as well, and it's the
Oh, I didn't even know that.
250th year of America. So like I think that's a big part of why he's doing it to make it something legendary and as like a thank you, like monument, to him kind of thing.
Hmm.
Because like the sport literally would not exist without Donald Trump, and yeah, at
That
least not
makes a
in the
lot of
way it is
sense.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like actually now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense because of how much pull he has in the casinos, and you know, you see him at every UFC event. He's obviously a huge fight fan, so it's probably
mhm,
oh well, here's your own little fight in your own little backyard at the White
right,
House. So it's
right,
really cool.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, being a fun card, and I think that I mean I there's like millions of dollars too that he's got to pay to like redo the White House lawn and to make sure that
Oh yeah,
the lighting doesn't get in the way of everything and just like all this weird little shit that I would never just expect, but luckily they have some good people in charge of making the event into what it is, and it's I think going to be free on TV as well. Nobody really watches TV, but like CBS, I'm pretty sure is going to be having it.
that'd be
Um,
really cool.
so yeah, and I don't know, but I'm hoping that there's plenty more that happen in the future. And if they could get Nate Diaz versus Connor on that card, then I would definitely be watching the whole thing.
Oh
But
yeah,
you know. I don't I don't know. I think there's like also supposed to be like 9 title fights or some shit. Like a lot of title fights. Like almost every title fight's supposed to be on the line. Every title is supposed to be on the line. There we go. There's some better words. Um, so yeah, and but anyways, let's get back to you and your career. If you couldn't be a fighter, what would you be doing?
I don't know. I've had I have like not a backup plan, but like like if this all fails, right? What to do? And I'd probably try to trade or a trade, not to trade, but like I was actually just working on my car yesterday. I hate that, so I wouldn't be a mechanic.
Mm,
Maybe welding, maybe carpentry, something, or honestly, I'm not sure. Like I just don't see myself doing anything different. Like right now, I serve and I bartend. I've done that for the last 8 years of my life since I was like 16. So I have experience working with people, but it's just a job. It's not something I love doing. Not
mm,
something I'm passionate about at all. So ideally, like if I'm not able to make it as a fighter, then maybe as a coach or maybe as someone who can guide the next generation of fighters to do something like that, or even personal training. Like I know so much about training now and training my body and eating right, and like maybe a nutritionist. If I educate myself more about nutrition, then I could help other people with that. But something that actually help people positively and not just go to work and make money and come back. I want to be able to actually make somewhat of a difference in people's lives and make have somewhat of an effect on the world to where I can actually do something that matters, I guess.
okay. All right. I feel you. I feel you. You want to make a positive impact on the world, and I get that because I do too. And I think that everyone has their own way that they're going to be able to make that impact, and their own way where we'll be able to benefit society. And you know, it's you just got to find the one that most aligns with what you want to do, and
Exactly.
yeah, and try not to piss off too many people along the way. Because then people will work really hard to like bring down your efforts as opposed to just letting you do your thing or trying to help you. you know
Exactly.
and yeah, but that's life. So all right, another one outside of fighting. If you could only eat one meal a day for the rest of your life, what would that meal be? You can eat as much as you want and as frequently as you want, but only one meal a day for the rest of your life.
Mm. Is it like one item or like a collection of items?
So like this is the example I usually give is I will choose eggs or like an omelet because you can mix other stuff into the eggs. So like I
Okay.
could mix veggies in there, or I could do like a meat lovers, or I could just do, you know, cheese omelet. Um, and then some people say pizza because of the same basic concept where they can have different toppings on it. So basically like that, one meal. And I know those are both single item foods, but I guess you can have sides as well. I guess,
Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I feel like even without sides, I do the same thing. But if we're going one meal, I'm gonna go steak all day. I will
Mm,
eat a steak every single day of my life. Um, lately, my last few weeks, I've been eating the same meal every day, anyways, which has been just steak and eggs. Maybe throw an avocado on there, and if I want some carbs, sweet potatoes. But I don't want to go too crazy because then you mixing things up, and it's basically a different meal at that point. But I would do steak with something.
mm,
It doesn't matter what it is, as long as I get meat and carbs, so I have energy and I have the protein, and I would
okay.
stick with that.
So like steak and eggs, or steak and rice, or
Oh
steak
yeah,
and avocado, or okay, steak and butter. Okay, all right. Lots of options. Lots of options there. And then, steak probably has all of the nutrients that our body would need anyway, for the most
yeah.
part. You know, um, that's probably a good choice. Probably a good choice.
Try
All
to think
right.
like what would help me with
Yeah.
life, I guess, and living my like healthy as well. So
Mm,
yeah, let's do a steak.
yeah. Probably a good choice. All right. So if you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
Jaguar,
Why is that?
because they swim. It's kind of cool,
Okay.
and they're I don't know. They're just a really cool cat. They're like super agile, strong, sharp. One of the scariest ones in the jungle. My second choice would be a falcon because they fly really, really fast. The
Mm.
fastest actually. But I think I'd stay with jaguar. It's I feel like the only thing they really don't do is fly. Obviously, they can't breathe underwater, but they're one of the best swimmers in the feline family. And honestly, they're just a scary cat. Like I would hate to run into a jaguar in the wild.
Most cats don't swim anyway, so the fact that that one
Exactly.
can is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so can a lion swim then?
I don't think very well. I'm sure I've
Okay.
seen videos of him like trying to like trot across a little puddle, but like jaguars like dive, and they're like there's
Mm.
pictures underwater of like a jaguar like rah, and it's like eyes have the little. It looks
Oh wow.
crazy, and just because of that, I'm like, oh, all right, jaguar, easy,
Could you imagine being underwater and a jaguar attacking you while it's
right?
also underwater? Like that would fuck me up on so many levels, dude. Like,
You think you're safe? No, you're not.
yeah.
You're not safe.
Oh, good. Cats can't swim in water. And then it just fucking dives in and starts eating you. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you try to swim away, it swims faster. It's like trying to
Yeah.
run away from something that's faster than you. There's no point of even running.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you have someone else you're running with and then you have to outrun them,
Exactly.
which obviously isn't the best case scenario, but it's the only case scenario for you to survive. And, you know, yeah. So you got to always bring a slow friend with you.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
All right. So is this Saturday or next Saturday that you have your fight? Next Saturday, right?
Next Saturday, yeah. So this week's
Okay.
gonna be my last week of like training, and then next week is weight cut. It'll be easy.
Okay. Awesome. And so what weight are you fighting at?
137.
137. Okay. That usually like I mean, obviously kickboxing's different, but I thought that it would be like every, 5 pound increments or 10 pound increments or something like that.
Yep.
Like MMA, sometimes it's 15, 20 pounds, but it's like still off of 5 pound increments. But 37, what
It's
happened there?
it's weird. So it does at least the way my promotion does it. There is 5 pound increments, but it starts so it'll go to like 32, 37, 42, 47, and then 52,
Mm,
57, 62, and it'll go up. And I think once you get into higher weights, then it starts jumping like 10 pounds or something like that. So it's
okay.
like, okay, if you weigh 170, you can fight at 162. You're gonna cut that weight. But the yeah, I was like trying to find a weight class to fight at, and then I fought on 42 in my first fight, and I realized the guy was a little bit stronger than me. He was a
Mm.
tough, strong guy, and I was like, I can make 137. I'll do it. And when I did, I mean, I'm 6'1", so
Oh yeah. And
everyone that
what
I
do you
usually
walk
go
around
against
at?
is gonna be like smaller than me too.
Yeah, what do you walk around at?
Outside of camp, like 55. A couple weeks, I
Okay.
was at 50. Right now, I'm getting close to 48, 45.
Okay, so almost about 20 pounds then that you're
Yeah,
dropping to get to
yeah.
37. Okay. All right. Well, as long as you're doing it safely, I guess. And, but do you have any predictions for your fight? If I was to bet on it, what round am I going to bet on you to win?
Mm.
And obviously, it's going to be by knockout.
It's gonna be by knockout or liver shot. I'm thinking, a nice little switch kick to the liver. But I would say, honestly, I'm a slow starter. I like to find my pace the first round, so I wouldn't say anything first round. I would honestly say a third round knockout because that's usually when he gets tired too. I've watched all his fights. Not one of his fights has he not been gassed, and he likes to slow down a little bit in the second round. So I feel like that's going to take over. And I don't think he'll recover enough in the third round. I think I'm just gonna overlap him, and I'm gonna get a finish one way or another. And honestly, I've I've done a lot of scouting. I watch his fights every single night before I go to bed. And his most recent one, he ran away a lot. He liked his ring control. He liked moving away like that. So if he does that, I'm hammering it to the liver. If he wants to be aggressive like he was in his early fights, we could dog it out. I'll sit in the ring. I'll sit there. Like it was funny because I went on your app and I was going through the
Yeah.
processes, and we were going through the game plan. It was like just stay sharp, use your range, fight smart. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I should do that, shouldn't I? But I'm probably not going to. I'm probably going to stand there and bang with him for a little bit and see who wants to be there more. But
Does it work for kickboxing though? My app?
it's
Because
it's
it's
interesting.
designed for
So
MMA, so that's why I'm
yeah,
like,
it
huh,
definitely applied. Like
okay.
there's some advice that applied, but then it would if I turned down their takedown percentage and my takedown percentage all the way down, then it would go more striking. So it would
Oh,
like
okay. So you went to the advanced settings to switch that up. All right, good. I'm glad you
yeah.
learned it. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it
good.
was really easy to learn. I actually I was just like moving around. The only thing I don't know his exact measurements, so I was just guessing, right? Off of
Right,
I
of
know his
course.
height.
Yeah. The reach is usually the hardest part for me to figure out. So the way that I usually set it is like I've noticed it tends to be about 5 centimeters more than whatever the height is.
Yeah.
In like typically like person to person, that's just what I see. So I just add 5 when I don't know what the reach is. I add
Mm.
5 to whatever the height is. And then that ends up being about, about right. And you know, if it's off by a little bit, it's still gonna be pretty freaking close. Like,
Oh yeah, and
you
it
know,
gives all the like corner breakdown, like what you're gonna be looking for, and like based off their tendencies, if you write in tendencies that they do, like how to react to them. So like it was definitely like good advice and some things I didn't think about, and it was like a lot like I was like, all right, yeah, this is matching up with what I thought too. Because like I was like, this is kind of some of my game plan just written out for a very easy way that I could understand it, and also with some things that I wasn't thinking about at the time. Like, oh, okay, cool, awesome.
that's great. That's great. I'm happy to hear that because that means it's working and it's showing a difference and it's like, you know, and it's in line with what you were planning on doing. So that's
Mm-hmm.
just even more confirmation that you're in the right track and on the right path, whatever, whatever. And then, with all the other tools that are in it, the coaches chat and you know, all the other different stuff. Like I think it can be something very, very useful for fighters to help them with their career. And but it's going to get better and better as time goes on. And eventually, the sponsorship portal is going to be available for fighters to help them, be able to get sponsors. And then there's going to be a booking portal as well, and that'll
Mm.
be, to help fighters book fights. But for now, it's like still a work in progress, and you know, it's going to take some time. But
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
and I feel like I've noticed, especially in like smaller towns, more rural areas, and like different parts of the country. I know Colorado is huge for fighting, so my fight team is very experienced. The coaches are very experienced, so it's like I have a good support system around me to where it's like they tell me good advice all the time, but there's people out there that don't, and there's fighters out there that who knows they might get done welding and then come and train at the gym and then they go fight and their coaches have had like a few fights themselves, so they
mhm.
that would be a great app for people that might not have that support system where it's like, oh, this is stuff that I wasn't told, this is stuff that can really help me in this area. And like even me, I was looking at it, kind of gave me that extra boost of confidence where I was like, oh, all right, we know what we're talking about. If AI is telling me the same thing that I'm hearing and more, then I can't go wrong, really. And
Perfect.
it was funny. I remember after putting in the measurements, it had me winning like it was like a 75% chance to win. I'm like, all right, you're just trying to flatter me now.
Yeah, you noticed that setting? It's to help
Yeah,
boost your confidence.
yeah,
No, not really. I didn't set it that way. But that would be like pretty funny if I did, I think. If, it'd be kind of like a mirror that like made you look more fit or something like that. It
Exactly.
would, yeah. I kind of like that aspect. I might need to incorporate it now, where it's like you have 100% chance of winning if you follow this exactly, but you have to be subscribed on a year-long basis, in order
Yep.
for it to work. Something
Exactly.
like that. I don't know, but I don't want to scam people either or mislead them, and I kind of just wanted to put it together, and people can do what they will with the info that it provides, and I think it's going to be beneficial for the most part. But I'm also not a fighter. I'm not actively competing. I'm not even actively coaching anymore. But I have had a lot of great positive feedback from those who have tried it. And the only person who has given me any like negative feedback, he didn't even create an account. So that's probably why it didn't work for him, because he was trying to use it without an account, and it's not going
Yeah.
to work if you don't have an account. That's
Yeah.
just fucking what it is.
You
Like,
have to put your information in.
yeah, you just put in your info and then you saved. And but he would just tell me like, "Oh, it only half works. It needs a lot of work." And then it's like, "Okay, show me what doesn't work." And then he would just like be like, "Bro, it just doesn't work." And then, "Okay, well, what doesn't work about it? Because there's a lot of aspects I want to know." And then, he just like couldn't be specific with me. And then I finally learned how to look into who has created an account, and then when I figured that out, I was like, oh, well, this fucking dude doesn't even have an account. That's why. And so whatever. If he doesn't want to get in on the free tier, he can just pay later on. Um,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna stress it. But like, I mean, there's 19 fighters signed up right now, and so far only one person who's not signed up has given negative feedback, and I've gotten the majority of them giving me positive feedback. Some signed up but didn't start using it yet,
Mhm.
which that's fine. I would almost rather that, I think, because then they're at least signed up and they're in it for later on when they are ready. Um, but yeah, I see, huge potential with this, and there's got to be like a million MMA fighters in the world, or at least the U.S.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I really only need to get about 1,000 subscribed in order for me to quit my job, and then I can just work for myself. I can podcast full time. I can make the app even better, and I can just like hyper focus onto making that the best possible resource it can be. And then also, I just recently had my own coffee come out as well. It's based off of my cartoon character Coach, and so it's called Coach's Cognitive Coffee. And so the link is going to be in bio for that. Use the code Coach Bergen, and you'll get free shipping.
That is
Um,
so cool.
so yeah, yeah. So I'm excited about that, because if I can get, both the coffee and the app to like, to take off, then those are both things that will be giving like recurring income,
Hmm.
as opposed to like, just having to work really hard for, a sum of money, and then having to work really hard for more money. And then, like, I don't want to keep trading my time for money. I want to be able
Exactly.
to create systems that can grow and pay off long term. And so far this seems to be the best way of doing it, is having my cartoon characters be like spokespeople, and have products based around them. And then, so one of my characters is called Jiu-Jitsu Monkey. And so when I have his character as like doing promos, like ads, I will call him Juji Mays, and kind of like Billy Mays.
Hmm.
And then, um, yeah, and then he'll do the pitch that way. But that's kind of what I'm going for, is to be able to, have products that can pay out royalties for my cartoon characters, and then to be able to have this app that can just like help, hundreds of thousands, if not a million, fighters worldwide, and at least starting in the US, and then, being able to just like grow it from there, and being able to change lives. you know but
I like that.
it's all going to start with getting the money in, and then I can use that money to help others.
Yes.
Because I've always tried to do it the opposite way, where I help others with money I don't have, and that doesn't work very well. You
No.
know, doesn't work at all. Actually, if anything, it makes my life harder. But it's okay because now we're going in the opposite direction, and it's all gonna pay off, and it's all gonna work out in the end. So
Exactly.
yeah, awesome. So where do you want people to follow you?
Um, right here,
Right
Instagram.
here on Instagram. All right,
Yep.
perfect. So I will make sure I link that
Thank
in
you.
the bio. And then, is there anything else you want to share before we go?
Just tune in. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I have pay-per-view tickets yet. I
Oh,
was checking the website. I wanted to get them, and I wanted to get pay-per-view tickets. That a lot of people in Florida that want to watch. But just keep your eyes peeled because after March 21st, I'll probably be posting it like on that day. I love like getting my footage and just posting it. But I'm win or lose, it's gonna be a great fight. I think we're gonna go out there and sling some everything, feet, hands, throw some knees, might as well, and just keep an eye out because this isn't it's not gonna be my last fight. I'm gonna fight again. I want to fight 5 times this year. I want a title this year, and I'm gonna transition to MMA soon. So there's big things coming up.
all right, all right. So you're gonna get the BMF title this year, then.
Oh, definitely.
All
Yeah.
right, perfect, perfect,
I'm going
perfect.
for Charles. He'll probably
All
choke
right,
me out, but it's all right. I'll make it fun.
that's fine. That's fine as long as you have fun doing it.
Always.
And as long as it's entertaining, as long as it's entertaining. If people enjoy seeing you getting choked out by Charles Oliveira, then great. It sells tickets.
Take the
But
Jake Paul route where I just make myself hated, and everyone lets me lose, and everyone watches me
yes,
anyways.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Jake Paul did it right. I'm sure like he's probably a great person in person, but he comes across as brash and a hated person persona, whatever, the heel, essentially.
Oh yeah,
Um, and but he is a very, very smart marketer, and he chose a very, very good path for himself that like aligns with his persona, and win or lose, people do want to see him fight, and
exactly.
so yeah. But all right, we will talk again after you win your fight next Saturday, and we'll
Yes.
definitely have you on the podcast another time. And worst case scenario, what I do have is I started doing with the podcast, like I had two different pro wrestlers come on for their third appearance, and I had them compete for the CBS Pro Wrestling Championship in different
Okay.
competitions. And so there's one that's made now for MMA that is going to be competed for in the next couple weeks. And I already had my people for that. But once you've had your second appearance, then when you come back on for the third, we could have you challenge whoever has the title at that time.
Hey, yo,
And
it's your
then
boy
worst
spitting
case
real talk,
scenario,
no cap.
that's
Dream so
your
big,
title
they
this year
bust
that
the
you win.
map, but
I'm
hold
gonna
up.
get I'm gonna get
Let's
all the
get one
titles.
thing
For
straight.
that
Perfect.
one.
Exceptional life, it's
Awesome.
a high stakes
Awesome.
fate. Chilling
Well,
at
I'm glad we
home,
got to
praying
talk
for the
today,
shine. Want a
and I will
penthouse
let you
whip
know when
and a
this all
gold
gets
line grind.
uploaded
I'm like, yo, make my
and get
life
you some
epic.
clips,
No
etc.,
norm, a
etc.
word is exceptional's a wild storm.
Good luck
Unique
on your
game,
fight,
always popping
and
Thank you,
champagne.
sir.
Could be locked
we'll
in a
talk
Thank you
cell,
soon.
for your
feeling
time.
that
It
pain. The
was a
coma's
blast.
unique, so's a big screen glow.
Good.
Exceptional's
Thank
just
you.
breaking
Thank
from
you.
the status
All right.
quo. I'm
Enjoy your
trying to
day.
flex, yeah,
You too.
skyscraper
All right.
dreams.
Thanks.
Big
Bye.
chains, bright fame, living supreme. But they say no light without dark, that's truth. You want the crown, gotta bleed no truce. Exceptional ain't always lit. Nah, could be mansions or stuck in a pit. Yeah, light needs dark, that's the deal. Gotta grind through the gauntlet to feel. No quit, no excuses, I'm holding it down. Winners keep pushing, never leave town. Exceptional life, I'm built for the fight. Spitting raw truth in the moonlit night. They said this logic's clean, let's keep it real. If you're slow, you'll miss it. No big deal, but if you're sharp, it's simple, no stress. Winners need losers, that's the cosmic chess. Skies like you want that top tier prize. Run the gauntlet, dodge the lows in disguise. Some fold, crying, man, it's too rough. They turn to losers, life's cold, tough luck. But me, I'm wired to outlast the grind. Sweat on my face, but I'm keeping it aligned. Every winner feels the weight, that's fact. The difference I push, never turning back. Exceptional ain't always lit. Nah, could be mansions or stuck in a pit. Yeah, light needs dark, that's the deal. Gotta grind through the gauntlet to feel. No quit, no excuses, I'm holding it down. Winners keep pushing, never leave town. Exceptional life, I'm built for the fight. Spitting raw truth in the moonlit night. Yo, I'm dreaming of the top, but it's a trek, every stumble's just a test. No wreck, they say no light without dark, that's real. Gotta face the lows to cop that thrill. Dodging excuses, no I ain't got time. Every winner's walk in that same hard line. The gauntlet's tough, but I'm built to endure. Exceptional vibes, man, my heart's pure. Picture me cruising in a whip, no stress, but exceptional's messy. Gotta confess, could be red carpets, could be bars in a cage. Gotta stay focused, keep flipping the page. Voice in my head like, don't be a clown. The path to the top, it's a brutal showdown, but I'm locked in, no quitting, I'm set. Got the heart to break clocks, no regret. Exceptional ain't always lit. Nah, could be mansions or stuck in a pit. Yeah, light needs dark, that's the deal. Gotta grind through the gauntlet to feel. No quit, no excuses, I'm holding it down. Winners keep pushing, never leave town. Exceptional life, I'm built for the fight. Spitting raw truth in the moonlit night. So pray for the stars, but know the cost. Exceptionals, wow, you can win or get lost. Light and dark, they dance in the game. I'm out here repping
No
that
vibes.
untamed flame.
No hope. We came with a plan. Yeah, no guessing, no fear when the cage door slams. Every move mapped out, that's a fight plan. Round by round, we don't wing it, man. Train smart, fight clean, that's a fight plan. Camp clock ticking, sweat on the floor. Data on the tablet, not a prayer anymore. We know where you win, we know where you fall. So we don't chase knockouts, we collect rounds all. Distance control, don't bite on the bait. If he blitzes early, let him gas, let him break. No ego in the pocket, no pride in the fire. We survive, then we rise, then we drown as desire. When the lights get loud and the mind gets tight, this ain't improv, this is chess in a fight. No guessing, no fear when the cage door slams. Every move mapped out, that's a fight plan. Round by round, we don't wing it, man. Train smart, fight clean, that's a fight plan. If this happens, do this. If that fails, reset. Win the round, then the fight. No vibes, no hope, just facts in hands. Pressure with purpose, that's a fight plan. Walk out calm, walk out the man. Smart beats tough, that's a fight plan. Digital corner, real results. Fight plan.
Oh, 5 a.m. glow, city still sleeping. Mind already running, I'm 10 moves deep in. Game plan mapped out, vision HD. No brain fog here, that's not me. Steam rising slow from the cup in my hand. Ideas light up like I drew up the plan. Every rep counts, every thought sharp. Fuel for the grind and the creative spark. This ain't just caffeine in a cup, this that clarity when it's crunch time. What's up? When the pressure hits, I don't panic, I see the whole board clear in front of me. Go, go, go! Coach's cognitive coffee, money roll coffee, that's the key. Stay locked in, stay focused, stay ready, mind steady, vision heavy. Coach's cognitive coffee, money roll coffee, fueling me when the stakes get high and the lights get bright. I'm sharp all day, I'm locked all night. 'Cast mic on, headphones tight. Big ideas coming left and right. No hesitation, no delay. Clear decisions every day. From the chessboard moves to the business plays. From the gym floor grind to the long work days. It's mental edge in every sip. Confidence steady, no slip. You can feel a shift when it kicks in clean. Tunnel vision, but the picture's seen. Not hype, just clarity. Built for longevity. Coach's cognitive coffee, money roll coffee, that's the key. Stay locked in, stay focused, stay ready, mind steady, vision heavy. Coach
is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fall in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fall. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fall. I was walking through the jungle with my people by my side. Didn't know that in the moment I'd be fighting for my life. Felt the world start spinning, colors all fade to white. Next thing I knew, I was falling out of sight. Heard voices in the darkness saying, "Coach, hold tight." But the fear in Queen Jeezy had me wanting to fight. Dreams turn to storms when you can't stand upright. But every storm breaks when you step into the light. A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fight. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fight. In the hospital bed, trying to piece back time. Maya told me, breathe, one step you'll climb. Truth lying, drop facts while the monitors chime. Said your brain hit a wall, but your hope still shines. Juji made jokes when the nights felt long. Panda read stories, keeping my heart strong. Hilarious hood pulled pranks, but he meant no wrong. And Stamps hustled salts when the pressure felt on. Every dream I battled was a lesson in disguise. Every fall just a setup for a stronger rise. When Queen JC cried, man, it opened my eyes. I ain't quitting on my people, ain't no goodbye. A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fight. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fight. He's good. He's more than good. He's still winning. A setback ain't a sentence. It's just a pause in the paragraph. I woke up with a vision and a fire in my chest. Every scar I carry is a reason I'm blessed. Life hit hard, but I hit back twice. Yeah, I'm alright.
Thank you to my sponsor, Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. Tonight proved that you pause, you breathe, and you finish the sentence. We did that, we finished
You
it.
looked unstoppable out there.
I didn't quit. Coma Dreams prove comebacks are real. Thank you, coach. I told y'all, no matter how deep it gets, wake up and fight.
Coma Dreams stayed with me. It reminded me not to take any day for granted. Just being healthy, training, and showing up is something to be thankful for.
I didn't expect this, but Coma Dreams actually hit me. Watching Coach go through that made me realize how fragile life is and why you don't waste your shot. This isn't a movie, it's life. It is what it is.
You know, I didn't expect to get hit this hard by a film, but Coma Dreams just wrecked me in the best way. The way it showed someone fighting their way back, step by step, it felt honest, like rolling here on the mats.
All right, I watched Coma Dreams, and I'm going to tell you, Coach's recovery, that was truly inspiring. That's a story worth watching.
I've chased titles my whole life. Coma Dreams reminded me the real prize is waking up and getting another chance. I'm grateful. Thank you, Coach.
I've been knocked down more times than I can count. Coma Dreams reminded me, you never quit, you keep standing back up. Shout out to Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. We finished the sentence and we finished the fight. Thank you, Coach.
Congratulations on the win. What's the message tonight?
Train by day, Coma Dreams by night, all day.